So Ofcom's 2024 report into children's media use and attitudes have been published. And courtesy of the Whiteboard Blog from Danny Nic on Twitter, I'm going to share some of the key findings. And it does not make for pretty reading. Get this, almost a quarter of children aged 5 to 7 now own a smartphone. And I don't understand why a 5-year-old would need a smartphone unless I'm missing something. 3/4 of children in the age group 5 to 7 have tablet computers as well. And 1/3 of children don't have continuous access to an appropriate device if they're learning at home. And if you think that's bad, approximately 38% of 5 to 7-year-olds are now using social media platforms. Now, this is so incredibly worrying for me because I know so many adults struggle with social media. They struggle to navigate it, being able to be discerning in the content that they're seeing. They are struggling to find the right screen time. I struggle with the screen time balance with it. I can find myself mindlessly scrolling through no other reason than boredom. I know some people struggle with just the way in which it curates news feeds to make you feel worthless and that you're constantly seeing the highlight of everyone's life. Even though you know most people are lying on social media, you still compare yourself to them and you're a fully grown adult. Think about 5-year-olds who have no understanding of the world, yet are then getting access to all of that sort of stuff. Most of their use is passive, so only 3 in 10 of social media users aged 8 to 17 are actually active, posting, commenting. Others are just watching content. 4 in 10 8 to 17-year-olds create their own video content online. Percentage of children aged 5 to 7 using messaging services increased to 65%. There's also this chart showing the most popular social media platforms among year groups. So obviously YouTube staying the most popular all the way through. Half of children aged 5 to 7 now watch live stream content, which can be open to so many inappropriate things. When it comes to the supervision, 3/4 of parents say they talk to their children about staying safe online. 1/3 of parents let their 5 to 7-year-olds use social media unsupervised. Only 1/3 of parents know the correct minimum age requirements. Children, particularly girls, are more susceptible to influencer marketing, and many children struggle to recognise online adverts via search engines. So what can we do with these findings? Well, I think everyone needs to do more. All of us need to take responsibility. On an international level, we need, as a global society, to put an independent regulation body in place who can hold these social media companies to account. You can't expect the likes of Meta, Facebook, Instagram to regulate itself when its main goal is to make as much money as possible. I think these companies can easily put things in place that would mean anyone under the age of 16 can't access social media platforms. On a national level, our government needs to invest in more education for parents, more support to help parents monitor their children's social media use. You know, in a parallel universe, Sure Start centres are still around, and part of what they provide would be so much education for parents around device use, social media and the likes. As teachers, we need to be doing a lot more around educating our students on every aspect of digital literacy. I think our curriculum needs to reflect that more, reflect the real world that they're growing up into. This isn't about encouraging them to use it, it's about educating them so when they are old enough to use it, they know how to be responsible, positive, safe online. And I feel that with a lot of the negatives, the downsides of that online digital world, the best form of prevention is through education. I'd much rather my children learn about that than a spag test. And then most importantly, as parents, we've got to take a much more active role in monitoring students' use. I mean, the best piece of advice I can give you as a parent, by the way, is keep your children off social media as long as possible. But we need to be setting time limits. We need to be aware. We need to actively be looking at ways in which we can keep our children as safe as possible. That also includes limiting our own screen time use. Children emulate what they see from us as parents. So if we're spending hours a day on social media scrolling, they're going to think that's what they should do. So we've got to be doing so much more as well. But those findings from someone who loves technology, that, goes around the country teaching teachers how to make more out of technology, to transform learning, to support children with different needs, making that curriculum so much more accessible for them. So knowing the benefits technology can have, but seeing how the misuse and the negative impacts, it's scary. It is scary.